off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
With Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. And welcome to the show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words on this show. No Kanye talk, formerly or now. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Why 88% and not 100%? Well, if you don't have any contrast at all, if you're happy all the time, which is impossible, then you don't even know you're happy. That's why we say 88% of the time. And why 8? Well, I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese. And in Chinese, in Mandarin, 8 is a homophone for good fortune. Ba is 8, fa is good fortune. So 88% is double good fortune. And that's what I am aiming to do. Have you drink the Kool-Aid? I'm on a Happy 88 mission, which is 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And that's why I have topics and guests to that end. And on Mondays, Monday, it is Mental Health Matters Mondays. It's a special series that I get to have the mic all to myself because every other day I either have a guest or a co-host. And I am a tad bit of a recovering control freak. And yes, I do like the sound of my own voice. Actually, I don't. Well, it's not that I like it or I don't, but I do enjoy being able to bring a message that I have crafted, and I don't necessarily have anybody disagreeing with me. So that's why I keep Mondays for myself as a way of really giving you a piece of my mind, PEACE. And that's what we're here for. And that's why you're seeing me once again on Monday morning. Now, I got to warn you, if you are tuned in to hear what is going on in the world and what the headlines are right now, I have to tell you that I am not talking about any kind of whatever is going on out there. If you want to hear the headlines and what everybody's talking about, please go somewhere else, because there's so many places to get that CNN constantly negative news. If it bleeds, it leads. Here on my channel that has been going on, let's see, I did the counter. Every Monday I get to count up. It is 657 consecutive weeks. So I'm super happy about that. And show podcast number 1,200 and I believe 79. So I'm still here and I'm still trying to get you to drink the Kool-Aid so that you can be happy, starting with yourself. And so before we get to the topic, which is Happy Holiday Blues, a little sarcasm there or irony there, we're going to do breakfast. I do breakfast for the last couple of years, first thing on my weekday morning show. And that is taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun is, what are some things you're grateful for that are outside of yourself? And the bottom of the bun is, what do you appreciate? What do you like about yourself? Which is gratitude turned inwards. And thanks to Abraham Hicks, appreciation is one of the most powerful tools to keep you attracting great things into your life. Because when you focus on things that you don't want, The law of attraction says, oh, you're focused on that. Guess what? You get a little more. And if you're focused on things that you do like, oh, you like that, you get a little more. So there's no assertion or negation in our world. So you can't say, I don't like or I don't want. There's no listening to the don't. It is just what you focus on. And that is true law of attraction instead of what The Secret, even though it was a great way to introduce people to the law of attraction, that focused more on sitting under a Bodhi tree and visualizing and put a vision board together. And then you think that you're going to get the car or the house, which is nothing wrong with that. But true law of attraction is about the use of the law of attraction to have a happy life, to have a joyful life. That's the most simple part of the law of attraction. And if you don't believe in the law of attraction, that's okay. It's like the law of gravity. It's going to work whether you believe it or not. But if you want to experiment, just pick out a car that you think you want to buy. And guess what? You're going to start seeing those cars as you're driving all over. That is the law of attraction at work. What you focus on grows bigger. And that's one of the fundamental foundation principles, foundation BS for this show, belief systems that keeps you happy 88% of the time. So what am I grateful for? Top of my bun, I'm grateful that my beautiful, best little girl in the whole wide world is what I used to call her when she was little, still do. She is visiting me for the holiday weekend. She leaves today, but we've had a blast doing two of my favorite things, which is cooking and shopping. Oh, three, and eating. So I'm going on the diet tomorrow. This has been a purposeful, wonderful, joyful, and enjoying the deliciousness of life. So that tops my gratitude list. Second, I'm grateful for What moments. What stands for what are the chances of that? And those of you who know me, like every day is some kind of a what moment. You get a call from someone, or you're thinking about someone, you get a call from them, or something. Like I'm thinking about one of my favorite things, which is birds flying in formation, and I turn and there it is, or parking spots, whatever it is, what caught. So I had a major, huge what caught moment yesterday that I have to tell you about. It's still like unbelievable. So y'all know my bonus mom and dad, 95, 92. They just both had birthdays within 2 weeks of each other. Dad turned 95 on Thanksgiving Day. They, after his last stroke, they're now in a place with better care or more intensive care in a home. And so it's a lovely home, and there's like 4 bedrooms. So they're in a home with other people that have their own bedroom, and mom and dad are together in the master, which is great. And those of you who see me in various, I love spending time with them, and they're behind my love of sports, but I digress. So we got invited. They had a big holiday dinner there, and all of my bonus sisters, except one, was there. But the whole, all the residents and their families were there. And so it was a lovely time. And we had really good food. And then afterwards, I made my sisters and my daughter play Phase 10 with me. And the other table were, they were just all together talking and having a great time. And one of the wife of one of the gentlemen who stays there came over to me towards the end and said, are you, what, I don't even remember exactly how she said it, but sounded like she was going to ask me about my very famous uncle, my father's cousin, who is a huge architect named Marissa Pei. So she said something like, Marissa, your last name, something like that. I said, yes, he's my father's cousin, very famous architect. And she goes, oh, actually, did you used to race? Did you used to sail in Redondo Beach? And I'm like, yes, that was like 30 years ago. I raced. I can't even remember which boat it was, but I raced. Debbie Helling. I remember I did the King Harbor, Santa Barbara race, and there was another boat that I was on, and the skipper was Raphael, and I raced for probably 7 or 8 years there with him. And I looked over at her husband, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, he does kind of look familiar. And the very first time I bumped into him at the house, but I'm not going to be rude about all one type of person looking the same, even though people have done it to Asian women for a long time. But anyways, it was so funny because I looked over at him and she said, I think my husband raced with you in Redondo Beach. And I looked over and I went, oh, 30 years ago. I haven't seen this man for 30 years, and they are in a small home that my bonus mom and dad are at. And it was just one of those, because we're not in the South Bay, and I race now out of the Long Beach Yacht Club. Y'all know that with the U.S. Sailing Center team. And so it was like, what are the chances 30 years later that I bump into a man that I raced with for years, but I, didn't really remember his name because my memory's just not, I have great memory, but my recall sucks. So can you believe it? And then when I settled down a bit and I leaned down and I said to him, this is just crazy how this happened. And he goes, well, if you had sat with me for a month, I still wouldn't have recognized you because you don't swear as much as you used to. That's embarrassing. But you know what? I live my life out loud. And even when I tell on myself, so he goes, yeah, it used to scare me. I used to swear so much on the boat, but cuss like a sailor. So what can I say? But I'm glad that I'm not that way, especially since I'm bound by FCC rules here on the show, being on KCAA, NBC News Radio, by the way, which is AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, the station that leaves no listener behind. And that's the story that encompasses both the gratitude on the top of my bun and also appreciation for myself that I don't swear quite that much anymore. But poor guy, he literally said that he was somewhat traumatized by my swearing on the boat when I used to race with him 30 years ago. Go figure. But I thought I wanted to tell that very funny story here because we're still, my whole family and my daughter's like, what are the chances of that? That's like crazy. But that's life. And I appreciate that I am open to the what caught moments of my life. And they happen all the time and they delight me. And because they delight me and I focus on them, more comes. And that's me. I'm a living, walking, breathing, dancing, allowing, law of attraction practitioner, coach, and really know that it is the key to having a happy life 88% of the time. And that is kind of the topic for today's show. Let's just close out breakfast. Things that you're grateful for on top, things that you're grateful for in yourself on the bottom before you go to bed at night, so you're not thinking about all the things that you didn't do right. But it is my BS, my belief system, that if you can approve of yourself, if you can love yourself, if you can be, your best supporter and soothe yourself when things are not going the way you want them to, that is mastery. That is personal life mastery. And that's my Kool-Aid for the morning and for every single day. Hopefully you will continue this good life habit, this hashtag Blisscipline of having breakfast with or without me on the show. And that way it's the cheapest way I know to be happier in your life. Thanks for joining me for breakfast. We're going to go for a quick break to pause for news and weather. We'll be right back. Don't go away. It is Monday, Mental Health Matters. Today, we are continuing our mini series during the holidays is Happy Holiday Blues. We're going to talk about dealing with the grief and the loss that some people really have a tough time with when it comes to the holidays. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. The beautiful Chuck Woolery, who's now on the other side, would say, be back in 2 and 2. But you know me. Peace in, peace out. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
To the world was exploring the world. What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into how many streets of life have you got to explore? What if the purpose of life is not to die with the most toys to leave our squabbling relatives? What if the purpose of life was to do things that we enjoy most of the time? Have relationships that we enjoy most of the time, and use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death. What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start with getting out of bed and making it. What if starts with
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel that houses all 1,279 podcast shows, as well as Red Carpet playlists with my interviews with Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones, and more. And today is Rainy Days and Mondays always get me up. Hashtag UP unlimited possibilities. That's the Kool-Aid I continue to dish out. So glad that the people said that this show about hope and happiness that didn't talk about the news would only last a year. And 12 and a half years later, I'm still here, and I'm glad you're here with me as well. An hour later, we just finished with our opening exercise of taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. And now we continue with my mini series on Mental Health Matters Mondays called Happy Holiday Blues. Last week, if you missed that show, you can get it. Free subscribe on my YouTube TV channel, and you will get an alert every weekday morning that I'm coming on to talk about more hope and happiness. But last week, we talked about family dysfunction, putting the fun back into family dysfunction and how to deal with people who push your buttons, get your goat, dance on the chip on your shoulder. And that was a very fun episode, getting lots of love for that. I appreciate all of the people who continue to support and give me compliments to, although it's not, I bake my own cake. Compliments and criticism are icing. But I always do love feedback that I'm talking about things that are relevant and helpful to you. So in that end, thank you for all of those messages. And now today, one of the reasons why, and it breaks my heart when people say, I hate the holidays. I can't wait for the holidays to be over. I can't, it hurts so much during the holidays to remember and then whoever used to be very important to them, and they're not here anymore and they've died, and it stabs me and it makes me feel horrible. And that's why I'd rather just skip the holidays altogether. And that just breaks my heart because the season of joy and the season of giving thanks are two of my favorite, right after April Fool's Day. But I absolutely wanted to continue to help with some BS belief systems that might be helping or hurting your ability to be happy during the holidays. Because frankly, my dear, once the holidays are gone, that's it. No holiday until the next holiday. And if you want to cut out like what I call, that 2 month, October 31st, November, December. So 2 months out of a year of your life, because you want to just skip over them. That's not living. That's a major proportion of your life that you're not living. And then if you're one of the many who say, I hate my job and I live for my weekend, so you're cutting out 5 days out of 7, that's not a lot of living. I've never totaled that up. But if you think about that, you're going to take 10 months minus. So let me do this right now, because this is an interesting question. Next time somebody says they hate the holidays and they hate their job. So if there are 30 days, average times 10 months is 300 minus, so 300 days minus, let's see, 10 times 550. Sorry, no, that's not. I'm trying to do this on the spot. Let me think. So there are 30 days, 300 days, but you're not living 5 days out of the 7 per month. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 10 is 200. So you're literally living for 100 days a month. 100 days a year. If you hate the holidays and skip the holidays, the 2 months, and you live for your weekends, so you're skipping your 5 days, you are literally only living 100 days out of 352. Wow. I'm glad I did that. That is kind of silly. What's the percentage of that? 100 divided by 352 equals, you live 28.4% of your life. So if you resonate with, I hate the holidays, want to skip those, and I hate my job and I live for my weekends, do you realize by saying and living those things, you are only living 28.4% of your year? And that to me, folks, is not the brightest crayon in the box move, not the sharpest tool in the shed move. I mean, I think you like life. I mean, I hope you like being alive. Most people try to stay alive. So, but if you're trying to stay alive and you hate the holidays and you hate your job, you literally are choosing to live only 28.4% of your life. That's not a lot. So what are we going to do about that? Well, I'm not going to talk about the job one today. We can maybe tackle that next week. But for today, how do we not hate the holidays? Well, we cannot hate the holidays. If you're hating the holidays because of the grief that you feel, let's deal with that one. So the people that you have lost, I don't even like that word, because you haven't lost people who die. They're not lost. I know exactly where they are. You know, we all come from love. We all go to love, back into love. So Quincy Jones, my dad, who else just passed recently? Anybody who has gone to the other side, they're still alive. They're just not alive in body form. And this is the tool. When you are sad about them being gone and you wish they were here, the first thing I'd like you to think about is where they are. And unless you are super religious and think that they've been a horrible person and they're now burning somewhere, I would challenge that. Every single person that I have researched who has died and come back has said that when they die, that place is lights and warmth and music and peace and a glow. So they're not, I don't know one person who has said when they died that they went to the gnashing of teeth or burning in hell. So that's one. They're not in a bad place. The second thing is, yes, you may be hurting because they're not here anymore. That's legit, right? Let's look at people who don't live forever. Guess what? It's all of us, right? No one lives forever. I will definitely side with you, though, and agree that people that you love dearly, like my bonus mom and dad, they're 95 and 92. I know they're not going to live forever. And as a result of that, I try to spend as much time as I can with them, because of all that they've been to me and all that they have represented and all the love that they have for me. I want to be with people who love me, right? So I know, though, that when they pass, when they go back to love, back into love, yeah, I'll miss them. But I know that they're not going to want me to mess up 2 months of my life and hate the holidays because they love the holidays. We love celebrating and getting together and just having a beautiful time together. So if you're not wanting the holidays because you miss someone, that's the first thing I want you to think about. Two. One is they're not in a bad place. And two, they wouldn't want you to hate being together with family, being together with loved ones who still love you that are on this side, and vice versa. So that's the second reason not to hate holidays. All right. So, three, let me balance out now. And you know me, I love to I used to have a client that said, I really wish you didn't have, I really wish you had two hands and not one. So, because I would always say, on the one hand, blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, because I am all about balance. And they would say, just pick a hand. But I can't do that because life is balance, right? It's not all one way or the other. And so I'm not saying that when you're feeling sad about someone who's not here anymore, like in our family, I know my older daughter was very close, and my younger daughter, but my older daughter specifically was super, super close to her grunkle, her great uncle, my father's youngest brother, the last remaining Pei. And she got really close to him. She went to Cornell, so she was on the East Coast, and she did a segment in Washington, D.C., Virginia. So she spent a lot of time with him, and he just went to the other side. He went back into love in like September. And so this is going to be her first holiday without him, and she's sad. And so I'm not saying don't be sad. I'm not saying that it is not okay to hurt and feel hurt, and you want to avoid hurt. We all want to avoid feeling hurt. We all want to avoid having heart hurt. We all want to avoid feeling bad, right? But you're human. We're all human. My daughter reminded me this morning in the bathroom that I'm human. I'm not, I can't avoid being human. And of course, it's going to hurt to miss someone. That part of grieving is real. That part of grieving is okay. It's normal to miss and be sad when someone you love is on the other side. They're no longer here in body form. That is totally normal and it's okay. And actually, I very much want people to get in touch with that pain thoroughly, because if you don't, if you do what Jamie Lula, my guest last week, says, a spiritual bypass, or I'm okay, I'm fine, without feeling fully whatever it is you're feeling, that's not good for you either. And just a little reminder what fine, I'm fine. What does fine stand for? Effed up, irrational, neurotic, and emotional. So don't go around saying, I'm fine. If you miss someone, if you are sad that someone's not going to be there, be sad, sit with it, be one with it, feel that, some people are afraid to feel because they think they're going to, jump in that black hole and be like Humpty Dumpty and never come out again and be all shattered. No, grief and feeling sad are normal human healing emotions. So feel sad. I have a lot of people that come to me who hate crying. I just don't want to cry. I hate crying. I don't like how it feels. And it's, no, I want you to cry. I schedule crying. I try to cry once a week because I always feel better after. And it helps me release the toxins that come with staying sad too long. So when you are, that's what depression is. It's sadness on steroids, and feeling sad. There's nothing wrong with that. Feeling sad and staying in sad begins to hurt your cells in your body, and you can get sick. So if you want to stay healthy and you want to look good in your body and you work out a lot, work out your heart. Make sure that you are really aligned with all of the emotions in your heart. Speaking of which, Thursday, it's the first Thursday, and I'm having Larry Porter back on, who is the founder of the Pondera method. So if you're someone who has painful memories, he's a specialist in taking painful memories and taking the energy out of them so they're not constantly hurting you and hurting your heart. So if you'd like to have a free session of that on the air, you don't have to be identify. You don't have to be on camera. Just let me know, message me, or just go to drmarissa1.youcanbook.me and schedule a little time, and we'll get you on the books for Thursday. But the reason why I'm saying all that is it's so important to feel your feelings, to say I'm okay when you're not okay is not okay. Oh, that was a good sound bite. Let me try that again. To say you're okay when you're not okay is not okay. God, I love playing with words. So, and expression. So feel that feeling. When you miss someone, say, I miss them. Get a hug. Tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. Allow them to disinfect your heart, because Lord knows we don't want an infected heart. So it's so, so, so glorious to feel it and then remember them whole. And this is the tool that comes out of today, because it is Mental Health Matters Mondays. I give away, for my Asian Oprah giveaway, a free audiobook copy of this book. And I would love for you to have it. And it is very easy. You just go to my website, which is up there, drmarissa.life, and put your email in. And I promise I barely get to 4 emails out a year. So don't worry about spamming if you would like a free audiobook copy. And for those of you who are looking for great holiday gift ideas, it is also available in a signed copy, and I'll give you a free audiobook copy to give as well for yourself. So that is the Happy 88 tool to not hate your holidays because you're afraid to feel sad, called Remembering Them Whole. Okay, what does that mean? So a lot of us are overly sad, I'll call it, when we don't lose them. But when someone dies, they don't really die. They live forever, just not in the body. But we get super uber sad because when we think of them, we don't think of them in the wholeness of who they are. You don't think of them in the vivacious, in the fun, in the fabulous, in the holiday memories, all of the really, really good ways to remember someone. It's like overpowered by their last illness that they died from or succumbed to. My dad died of lymphoma. He lost the battle with lymphoma. And that last 7-8 months were not fun at all. You know, he was hacking out a lung, just very physically uncomfortable, in pain, was not the dad that would joke around with me, who was a horrible dresser, the nerdy professor, who I remember giving him a designer shirt, and his response was, "I'm not wearing something with someone else's name on it." So those are the memories that I conjure up when I remember my dad, when I'm sorry or feel bad during the holidays that he's not there. Or actually, I get most sad about my dad on Father's Day because he is the number one. This is my Chinese dad, not my bonus dad, Graham. This is Dr. David C.T. Pei. And he was one of those kid and dog magnets. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? So there's some people, and I got that from him, where kids that don't normally interact with strangers, or dogs that don't normally interact with strangers, they'll just go to them. My dad would walk into a room, and whatever kid or dog was in that room would just go over to him. And he really, really, really was looking forward to the day where I would have children and he could be a grandpa. I mean, that's what he lived for. So the fact that he passed when my younger one was only 22 days old was tragic. and not getting to be in their lives was tragic. However, I don't focus on that. I remember the good memories, the times when he would, there's a story that it's too long to tell now, but when he tried to make me seafood Newburg because I said that I'd had it when I was away in college, or he was so frugal that he sent my ski suit when I was in Europe and I knew I was skiing in Pontresina for the holidays. He sent it by sea instead of by air because he didn't want to pay the $80 shipping and paid the $15 by boat, and totally missed the holiday, and I had to buy another suit. So all of those funny memories, that's the tool called remembering someone whole. So when you're missing someone, when you're in that sadness, feel sad, have a little tear or a little good cry, hug someone while you're remembering someone else who missed them. I think one of the most beautiful things that came out of me being in the library for the Seal Beach Salon shooting, which was a horrific event, but being there and watching people move through grief. The one thing that I learned there was in that initial time of grief, no words are ever going to be helpful. But the most important and beautiful way for grief to be shared and to heal from is a hug and a cry. That's the best way to move through grief. So if you haven't done that, and I know people who come to me who have never grieved someone's loss, and it's painful to see because of all of that pent up, backed up, unprocessed grief, and it will poison you. It will infect you. It will. I can't remember. One of my guests said, "What you do not deal with will come back and deal with you," and that's why a lot of people in the midlife, I don't call it midlife crisis, it's midlife opportunity, have this, have an opportunity to process through things that they haven't processed through. Because especially in America, we have this BS, this belief system that what you do not deal with, if you can't change it, don't deal with it. Right? So you can't go back and change your past, so don't deal with it. If you don't deal with how you felt to be hurt, that gets infected and it will change the way that you have relationships with people now. So that whole process of being one with your pain, be one with your sadness, and then remember them whole. So that is my Happy 88 prescription of dealing with pain and helping yourself have a happy holiday. Don't chuck out the baby with the bath. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater just because you have some real grief around those you miss. Don't miss out on what is here during the holidays. The people who are still here in bodily form, who love you and you love them. The people who are still here to have fulfilling relationships with. The people that are still here who love you 88% of the time, 12% of the time. you know, everybody's human, right? But there's so much that you can still enjoy about the holidays. If you remember those that you miss, remember them whole. So there's the foundation Happy 88 tool for Happy Holiday Blues. There's a couple more things that I want to get you to drink in this Kool-Aid today. Don't go away. We have to take a station ID to pause for traffic and weather. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some physical tools you can use to have happy holiday, no blues. Don't go away. We'll be right back. It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. And don't go away.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes, body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance
and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢。
Be my partner, dance.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And the station that leaves no listener behind. And I am Dr. Marissa, welcoming you back to my 1279th podcast show over the past 657 consecutive weeks. This is a show about hope and happiness. So I'm hoping that you will continue. Thank you very much for continuing to tune in. I am now at three on my YouTube TV channel, 320 some thousand views. And I'm so grateful for the consistent downloads of this show about hope and happiness. And I continue to get wonderful messages thanking me for the work that I get to do. I love my work for sure. There's no better thing than starting the morning because I have to practice what I teach here. And we're trying to get you to drink the Kool-Aid around Happy Holiday Blues and trying to regain back the 2 months that some of you, I hear, are just thrown out because you don't want to miss people or be sad about those who have passed. And so today's focus is on some tools for that. We went through remembering where they are now, which is back into love. Nothing wrong with where they are. And for many, they're out of pain. And that's something that I love to remember. Secondly, remember them whole. Don't remember them in the last few months or how the tragedy took them. You know, it is hard when those, I have clients who have a really tough time when people pass, even when they're older, and everybody knows that no one's going to live forever, and everybody knows that they're not going to live forever. But somehow when people pass, even in old age, it still hurts. Of course it hurts because you miss them. And so how do we deal with missing people who are not here physically? One is to remember them whole. So remembering them whole is focusing on memories that are happy making. So, get the best feeling thought you can about that person. And then third step is focus on the people that are here. Focus on those who love you love, that are still here. And combining those two, when sometimes after I've had a good cry, which is tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. So please don't ever apologize for crying. Feel the tears. And then what I will do is tell the story. So when I miss my dad, my Chinese dad, Dr. David C.T. Pei, when I miss him and I, tell someone that I miss them and they'll give me a hug and I'll shed a tear. And then what I'll do is I'll share a story about them. And not a morbid story, but a funny story. That's what helps me with holiday blues while I'm feeling them. So there's another tool that I hope you can use to feel better during the holidays, especially when you're missing someone. So here's another tool that I don't know that I have directly covered, but in the last portion of the show, I wanted to cover, and that is, it's coming straight out of Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction. And for those of you who have never heard, when I drive, I just listen to the tapes, and I, those of you who are skeptics or cynics, and, I'm a reluctant woo-woo myself, and I don't focus on the channeling portion of it. I just focus on the message of what Abraham is saying through Esther. And one of the things that is so incredible that has changed my life is rearranging my own BS belief system about life and death, and how we all have we are all energetic. Quantum physics is now quantum mechanics is a part of my BS, my belief system, that we're all energy. And because we're all energy, that whole concept or construct of death that people have made a business out of, and it's just a time where everybody's sad and you're grieving. I'm not, again, balancing it out. I'm not against feeling sad. I'm not against feeling, the natural grieving process when you miss someone. But I am less afraid of death than I've ever been. And it's a healthy, they say there's a healthy fear. This is a healthy non-fear. And this is a construct that I wanted to end today's episode with, is really looking at, what is life? What is life? And thereby, what is death? And for the first break, I pulled up my trailer for my first short film that came about as a direct result of COVID. So you heard the reference to COVID there. And some people, I was having this conversation yesterday with a loved one around, COVID's not the issue now. People aren't traumatized by COVID. People are traumatized by the election. And trauma is trauma. And so my solution for trauma is always going to be the same, which is focus on things that you are able to control and focus on things that make you feel better, not worse. And so when it comes to life and death, I would love it if people who feel like they don't have a choice when it comes to feeling angry or pissed off, or life sucks. Okay, let's just do that one. That's the easiest one. If I had $1 for everyone who said to me, life sucks, or people that say, I don't want to have kids because I don't want to bring them in this world because life sucks. And it hurts my heart for a minute, but that's their choice. But I am appealing to anyone who is so focused on all the things that are wrong with life, all the things that are wrong with other people, all the things that are wrong with the government or the weather or whatever it is, to sit back and take a breath. And this is, I use my balanced Tai Qigong promo because I'm going to take you through a physical exercise to alleviate some of the sadness, or alleviate when you get stuck in a spiral of negative thinking. The first thing you do is, when you recognize I'm mad, I'm pissed off, I'm feeling frustrated, I feel hopeless, all of those low vibrating energies, is to just stop yourself and just literally focus on taking a breath in. So take a deep breath in through the nose and release. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. This is the 3-breath technology that I came up with, along with the moving meditation that promotes inner peace, 1 breath at a time. So the first breath, you're focusing your chi, life energy, your breath, on physical. So you're going to soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees, activating the physical part of your body. The second breath in is releasing all the stories and the drama. So you're going to activate the mind and connect it with the breath and release all those thoughts, all those BS belief systems that are keeping you down. You can do this. You can say, that's not the best feeling thought I could have, because it keeps keeping me in the dark. Okay. That's the second breath. Third breath, and connecting with chi, eternal energy. So I'm not I'm allergic to religion. I am spiritual. I have a BS belief system that there is a power out there that keeps the planets moving so they don't crash into each other, so we don't die at night and the sun comes up. I'm not in control of that. There's an energy out there that created my body that has the ability to process food. And, I get to go to the bathroom. I don't control the pancreas and all of that. It actually works, and something created me. So that's what my belief system is for the energy that created. So that energy I call chi, life force, and I am a part of that. I'm an expression of that. I am a holographic extension of that energy. So that is a fundamental BS belief system that I use to keep me happy. I focus knowing that I can take that breath, that third breath that connects me with me and that energy and all of y'all. And when I take a breath, I take nothing from you. And when you take a breath, you take nothing from me. That's an example of the abundance that is life. That's what life is all about. That's what we're here for. We're here to connect with that life energy, to create, to innovate, to love, to respect, to have fun, to laugh. That's what life's about, right? All the things that you think are going to make you happy. If I have that car, that person, that money, whatever it is, you're just thinking that that's going to help you feel happy. Well, guess what? You can feel happy, not knocking any of that stuff. But in this moment, you can actually be happy because you are connected and alive. And now all day, I can stay in that feeling as long as I don't allow or choose to focus on something that will bring me down. That's the principle that underlies why I'm happy 88% of the time. So I haven't covered that in full ever on an episode. So this is the first time. So hopefully, if you would like to join me in this practice, in this happy practice, it's called choice. It's called, I am going to choose the best feeling thought. That's from Abraham. I'm going to take a breath and remind myself that I'm connected to the energy that grows beautiful flowers, that is responsible for all the color in the world, is responsible for so much good. And I am an expression and wholly a hologram expression, holographic expression of that energy. And when I am connected that way, I have an amazing day. That's when I have what moments. That's when I see things that I wouldn't normally see. And that you can do even beyond the holidays. But for now, that is my final word on Happy Holiday Blues. Hopefully, a couple of things I said hit you somewhere. You drank the Kool-Aid a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to have a fantastic week. Tomorrow is Tuesday Talent. And I know that I actually have a great guest that is going to be phenomenal. And I didn't put it in the right place. And then Wednesdays, Doctors in the House. Thursdays is, we're starting a new series this week. On Thursdays, it's called Throwback Thursdays. And I'm going to bring back great interviews. I have a huge, a plethora, a myriad of amazing people that every time I mention names, they're like, wow, you interviewed Gloria Allred, you interviewed Fran Drescher, you interviewed so many, Hot Lips Houlihan, Tennille from Captain and Tennille, and they're all stuck in my vault. So we're going to do Throwback Thursdays, and then Straight Talk moves to Friday. And I'm going to have two hosts, Ricky Rebel, which you knew from my Hollywood Rebel report. He's traveling more. And James Hawthorne, my Straight Talk regular host, he's doing more acting. So they're going to split up Straight Talk. That's moving to Friday. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're going to have the best day ever. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever.